Fired back in. Oh, what a finish that is. Riyad Mahrez against his former club with a firecracker into the top corner. Vardy. Oh, hands on by Kyle Walker. Michael Oliver points to the spot. And Jamie Vardy has won Leicester a penalty. Vardy blasts it home. Oh, that's clever. That's really clever. And that's a Leicester lead. Jamie Vardy stealing in. And how cheeky is that? Vardy looking for the hat-trick, playing on the shoulder. Garcia's fouled him. Another penalty. And Jamie Vardy is putting Manchester City to the storm. Vardy goes low, it's perfect. It's a Jamie Vardy hat-trick at the Etihad. Maddison, oh goodness me. That is quite something from James Maddison. And that should be enough to secure a famous win at the Etihad. Oh, and it's headed into the corner, Nathan Ake. Maddison, another penalty. This time it's Mendy, who is the villain. Coming back at James Maddison. Tielemans takes it, a hat-trick of penalties. And it's a fifth Leicester City goal.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yes, indeed, you are locked into another episode of FPL Bros. We're up to is this episode 28?
Episode 28.
28, I think, yes, sir. So, the only place to get all your FPL chat and football chat, nobody does it like we do, so I don't know why you're even fronting, man. Yes, this is the next half an hour or so, this is where you're going to get the good stuff. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, not doing too bad myself. It's been a good week so far.
It has. Yeah, I'm all right. For all I want to say is, what is going on? What the heck is going on? Manchester City. What? What, man?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what's happening, but everyone is starting to question Pep's tactics.
Mm.
Very much so.
Do you think it was tactics?
I think they were quite unlucky. I mean, personally, I feel like they were quite unlucky with the three penalties in a game. What? Like you're rarely gonna win a game once you've conceded 3 penalties. You know. Yeah. So I feel like it was a bit of both.
Also, yeah, I agree with you. The penalties, you just call it unlucky, but they were silly mistakes because of how he's played. You know, how he set up the team, and Vardy was always going to be running on the back of the defenders. I'm not trying to brag, but if you use the Liverpool game as an example, we knew Aubameyang was going to try and make the run, so we had a high line. I think City should have really used the pace of Walker, and I kept saying this because I remember watching the game. I was like, if Vardy needs to score a goal, he needs to stay away from Walker. And actually, I think the first penalty was committed by
Walker?
Well, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Walker, but I remember Walker did commit a foul which led to a penalty anyway, so he didn't even need to stay away from him. It was a case of getting the foul while he was running down towards the box, not while he was already in the box, which is dangerous. And they really pushed back when Leicester had the ball, which was silly, which was a really silly tactic. But all in all, the stats show that City dominated that game. I mean, how can you have 72% possession and end up losing 5-2? It just goes to show that they're not taking the chances. They're not creating.
That's just Pep Guardiola all over, isn't it? You know, of course, he's always going to have the possession. He's always going to have the possession, but it's what you do with it that counts.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, so I hope you guys don't mind if we quickly let the boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen know how he did. Does anybody want to go first? All right, I'll go first in that case.
Yeah, go on.
All right,
You
then.
go.
So I got 38 points, and like half the world, I had Son, and then obviously only played for 45 minutes. I captained Werner, like the other half of the world, and he did nothing. DCL obviously rolled in, and then I got some points from Alexander-Arnold and some points from Ayling, and that is all I have to write home about. Oh yeah, and the assist from Salah. So luckily for me, because my first two game weeks were so good, this disaster kind of cushioned it a little bit. But I've got a red arrow, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. So who's next?
I don't mind. I'll go.
Similar to you, I was going to say, just similar to you, I got 38 points as well.
Yeah.
And Rashford got me a goal finally.
Oh yeah.
Werner was captain, he got me nothing, and Adams got me an assist. And I think we spoke about Adams on the last pod as well as being someone who's got a bit of potential as well. So that was quite good.
Yeah.
And then Trent got me the assist, I believe. But yeah, it wasn't a great week. I also took a -4 hit, so I think I actually ended up with 34 points after the 4-point hit. So yeah, currently doing the worst out of us.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a marathon, don't worry. It's a marathon.
Honestly, again, you've just got to think about how it's going to play out over the rest of the season. Plenty of places to pick up points. And then, Jamie, I've actually got your points up in front of me, unless you've got them as well.
I've got them as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, you came in with 48. So
yeah,
the best out of us tonight, anyway.
Tonight, yeah, at least tonight. It's funny that James hasn't showed up because he would have loved this week. But hey, oh well. So I'll take all the plaudits. So I captained Ings, which was a good safe bet.
Yeah.
He got his goal and then he got 3 bonus points, which topped him off, and it got me 18 points with him captained. Then I had Havertz and Calvert-Lewin, and then sent Alexander-Arnold as well, which was good. He got a bonus. And he got an assist, so that was those were my big points this week. Yeah, I think it went pretty well. I mean, for the following week, I'm looking at Son, because we had a chat about it earlier today. We've got his red warning sign, and he got us a point last week. Everyone got excited when he did it when he went rampant against Southampton, and now it's like, oh. But did we just follow the craze and bring him in for no reason? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah.
Yeah.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
And in fact, we might as well get straight on to that. I mean, in terms of Son, first of all, according to Mourinho, he's going to be back after the international break. And yeah, what I've heard is that he's back for the fixtures on the 17th of October, which is effectively 2 weeks from now. But if you factor in the fact that he was injured at the weekend, it's nearly 3 weeks. 3 weeks long enough to return from a hamstring? I don't know. It depends. But if people are thinking about getting rid of Son rather than holding on to him, and I wouldn't blame you if you did want to hold on to him, because Spurs' fixtures are still quite good, what kind of replacements would you be thinking about?
Well, I've already done my transfers this week. Let me look. He's worth what, 9 million?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think with Son, there were a few options. There were a few cheaper options, and there were a few more premium options, depending on how much money he had.
Yeah.
So the cheaper options were your Barnes, your Mahrez. People might even look to Wolves, who I know some of you are not too fond of Wolves. So you got Podence, but then you also got your Zaha's.
Mugging me off, man. Just mugging me off.
I think personally for me, if people already haven't got Manchester United cover, that's what I'd be looking at right now.
So like a Rashford.
Yep. It's Rashford or Greenwood, those kind of players, or even Bruno Fernandes. That's another option. Obviously, that's more on the premium side, and that's the bit I was going to get to next. The premium side, I'll probably look at your Mane's, just to differentiate it from Salah, because everyone is getting Salah, but I do think Mane's in the form of his life at the moment, and then you've obviously got some of your City assets as well. So yeah, those are the kind of players I'd look at right now.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at some of the high scoring Leeds midfielders like Costa and Klitsch. Like if you look at points over this week, if you look at points overall so far this season, they're way in the top 10 comfortably as well. and they only cost 5.6 million. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I think what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Costa's sixth and Klitsch is seventh out of all midfielders this season so far. So I mean, for 5.6 mil, and they don't look like they're slowing down at all. They batter in goals every week against teams. So I don't know, big side or small sides it seems.
It's true. I haven't heard people talk about the Leeds midfielders
Hmm.
much, and looking at their fixtures, it could be worse. I mean, obviously they've got Man City next, but then after that, that's Wolves, and only God knows what you're going to get with them. Then
Yeah.
Aston Villa, you've always got to fancy your chances against them. Then Leicester again. And even though Leicester aren't playing badly at the moment, they still let in 2 goals against City, and their defence is still a bit of a patchwork job at the moment. So again, see how, because they don't have Johnny Evans and they don't have Pereira at the moment, do they? Yeah. And then you've got Palace and then Arsenal, although that could be, although I'm expecting Arsenal defence to be tight this season, it's still not quite as tight as I thought it would be. And then Everton as well, again, even though they're playing well, they seem to be allergic to clean sheets as well. So yeah, I can see in terms of saving money and perhaps putting the saving to somewhere. I mean, because you could be looking at saving like 4 million, 3 million, 3 or 4 million if you go down to a Leeds midfielder, and that can really, boost your team elsewhere. So yeah,
Definitely, because Son, if we change Son, he's only 9, and he's at an awkward position with 9. If you've got no money in the bank, there's no one really in that bracket that's of equal quality. Like you've got to go down, or you've got to have some money in the bank to go up. Because Mane's a lot more expensive. So's Salah. So's the premium players that we were talking about earlier. And for me, I mean, I'll go for broke every single time. I'm trying to round off to a 0. I don't leave any money in the bank. So if you're like me, then and you haven't got anything in the bank, you really got to look lower and then maybe save up for your next transfer, or unless you're willing to lose points. That's what.
Yeah, no, that I have to say, yeah, I haven't heard people mention these. I mean, I myself, I was thinking, people might look at Mahrez, they might look at Harvey Barnes as well. So those were the replacements that I would have mentioned as well. And do you know what? I was slightly tempted today thinking about keeping him, but then I've also got Pedent, and like he's yellow flagged, and like I need my players playing, man. I haven't got time to be putting £9 million worth of talent on the bench. So I'm probably going to use a transfer and then see what happens. But yeah, some interesting options there, definitely.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, second of all, I think is the burning question on everybody's lips is what to do with one Timo Werner of Chelsea Football Club. Who wants to weigh in on this one first?
Got to give the guy some time. Yeah, I just think hold. If you've already got Werner, my opinion, be hold. I hate that word, giving him some time to get used to the game, get used to the team, but sometimes that's just what it takes. Not everyone comes and hits the ground running and starts, producing amazing results. And people do take some time. And you have to remember Chelsea haven't really had much of a pre-season. So I reckon he's going to get into his room. And plus, he's got some amazing fixtures still ahead of him. So for me, personally, I'd probably hold on to him for a bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea are still an attacking team, despite the fact that they're all over the place a little bit at the moment. And he is the guy who's supposed to be getting them goals right now. Sometimes the other day it occurred to me that you could make the comparison between him and Aubameyang when he first came in. He wasn't exactly blazing, but he had a good record in the Bundesliga, and they brought him in to score goals, and he pretty much scores them wherever he plays in the front three. So, or do you think that's a fair comparison, or am I just clutching at straws there?
No, it's true. It's true, because I remember when he came in, he didn't really, wow. I think he got like a couple of goals here and there eventually, and this was when Mkhitaryan was in the team, wasn't he? At that point. But yeah, I think you need to give Werner some time, especially since he's now got his first goal. Usually, when they get their first goal, their confidence really boosts. So since he's got that first goal now, you don't know what he's going to do against Palace. So it's definitely worth watching that space.
There is that, there is Palace. But then, as Jamie rightly pointed out, when they embarrassed Manchester United, Palace they're like party poopers sometimes. Sometimes Hodgson just gets it into his head and think like, everyone thinks they're going to have a good weekend, but not if I've got anything to do with
Literally,
it.
literally. It's funny. I mean, with me on Werner, maybe I'm just rash, but I'm just like, man, 9 million sitting there not collecting me any points. And that's just the way I look at it. I know it sounds rash, but I'm just like, cool. There's so many cheap strikers out there at the moment who are raking in
Very
points.
true.
We've got
Very
Mope,
true.
you've got Ings, you've got even Richarlison's doing better than him, like, and he's 9.4 mil. I mean, if you've got 0.6 in the bank, you could have had Vardy.
True.
Like, if you think of it that way, you could have had Vardy.
Yeah.
Like,
do you know
we're waiting
what
for it to
kills
click
me?
till when?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick that Leah Morton, who won the Originals League a couple of seasons ago, when I saw Vardy got a hat-trick, I thought, yeah, she's going to be climbing the ranks because she's one of the only people who brought Vardy in our league this season. And then when I looked on her team, and she transferred him out on a wild card.
Oh no!
God, transferred him out before he got a hat-trick. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, you've mentioned a couple of replacements there. You're right. There are cheaper strikers who are doing the business. Plus, we know they can do the business because they've done it before. And then obviously you've got one or two more expensive options. I mean, would you, for example, because like I said before, Spurs have got a good run, although Mourinho keeps going on about how many games they've got to play like for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and I don't know if it's going to tie them out or whatever. But then again, I think they're professional footballers, and like for £100,000 a week, I will run around non-stop for 90 minutes once or twice a week. No problem. Just show me where to sign, and I will do it. And you won't hear me complain once. Anyway, Kane, what would you say to somebody who wanted to swap Werner for Kane? Perhaps if they had a bit of change and they were able to do that swap. That's going a bit far, and is it?
Look, at the end of the day, I stand with my stance on Werner. And, it doesn't make sense to do those swaps. To me, it's too much of a horizontal swap. Does that make sense? Like, you're going from 9.5 to a 10.5 player. Kane he's got a few assists, but it's not exactly scored hat-trick after hat-trick.
Yeah.
If you're swapping Werner to Calvert-Lewin, yeah, fair enough, I understand. Or to Ings, maybe, where, let's say Ings did have quite a few decent fixtures coming up, and I can't remember the fixtures he has got coming up. I think the next one is good, but I could understand the cost saving there. But it's too horizontal for me. It's like individual swapping De Bruyne to Salah. It just doesn't make sense. You just leave them in the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. Right. I can see an argument for and against for both for that as well. But I get what you're saying. If it's for Kane, Kane's not exactly lighting up the league at the moment, and and you can see his pace is gone. That was evident from early.
Well, he's like 26.
Man, his knees are shot. He ain't good at him anymore. Won't we say that?
You're talking about him like he needs a mobility scooter or something.
In this day and age, look, in this day and age, this current football,
he's in the prime of his life.
If I'm not seeing you peg down through the middle to the box and you're smacking it, I'm not hearing it. Like I'm not hearing you. Like he was setting it up for Son.
Yeah.
Kane should be even. He was tracking back, holding up, and then kicking it long. Like he seemed tired.
I have to admit that did surprise me. You would have expected it to be the other way round, but everyone goes on about, he's the best passer of the ball at Spurs, and I was thinking, well, they haven't got him at Spurs to be the best passer of the ball. They've got him at Spurs to be the end of the passes, surely. Yeah. But anyway.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Kind of moving on from that, penalties. It's a kind of a segue because Kane takes the penalties at Spurs. Werner may be on penalties. As somebody who's probably going to keep him, I'm kind of hoping that he does because his record is pretty good. It's at least as good as Jorginho's. But we've seen an awful lot of penalties. It's funny, really, because at the beginning of last season, everybody said, VAR's going to come in. We're going to see loads of penalties. And there wasn't that many. But now this season, it seems like they're starting to pop up. Obviously, there's a whole handball thing. But what do we think?
Yeah.
So we just get penalty takers just fill our teams full of penalty takers and just, after that, cross our feet because it's all done. We're all done.
Yeah, I think penalties is an interesting one, isn't it? Because with the new handball rules, the amount of penalties already being given is ridiculous. Not to mention, because of the lack of pre-season, a lot of defenders are being a little bit more sloppy.
Agreed.
With tackles. I saw an interesting stat, which was like after 26 games, they'd given 20 penalties away. Now that is ridiculous because I'll give you the stat for last season. After 380 games, they gave 92 penalties away, which is a ratio of almost for every 4 games you get 1 penalty. Whereas in this one, it's almost getting to 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Wow. So it is probably worth looking at penalty takers. I'll be honest.
I think so. I think you've got to take it with caution though, because I think if you're looking between two players of similar skill and of similar points, like history of points, and then one of them is a penalty taker and one of them is not, then obviously go with the penalty taker. But I don't think sell a player to bring in a penalty taker because that can backfire as well. Like
I get where you're coming from. So if you're looking at let's say your United assets, you might pick Bruno Fernandes over Rashford just because Fernandes takes the majority of the penalties. Same with Liverpool, you might look at Salah instead of Mane, purely because Salah will take penalties. But you wouldn't exactly go and, sell, for example, you wouldn't sell like one of your premium midfielders to bring in,
Bojovic.
Yeah, exactly. Crystal Palace's penalty taker.
Yeah, although I've heard that Zaha takes him as well now.
They're trying to flip us,
Yeah, because Van Aanholt is injured. Milivojevic is on the bench a lot these days. So there's a good chance that the only penalty taker on the pitch at Crystal Palace when they get one is Zaha. And he has been looking...
Who took it last week? Who took it? Because Zaha took the second one. Someone took the first one and it was saved.
Yeah, it was Ayew.
Yeah, Ayew.
It was Ayew.
He got 2 shots, right? He tried it twice. Am I wrong? Or am I just thinking?
No, Ayew took the first one and he missed, but then they said that the goalkeeper was off the line. And then Roy Hodgson was like, yeah, I'm not taking any chances. You take it. And of course, Zaha took it and it went in. But, obviously they have faith in him taking the penalties. Well, I'm just quickly looking at the usual suspects for penalties. Arsenal, it's Aubameyang. Like you mentioned, you've got Vardy, obviously Salah at Liverpool, De Bruyne at Spurs, at Man City, and then Fernandes at Man United. But at Leeds, you've got Click, and I think, Jamie, you mentioned that he might be an option. At Everton, it looks like it's Richarlison at the moment because Sigurdsson's not on the pitch. And then, if you really want to scrape the barrel, actually, before barrel scraping, I'm just going to say Jimenez at Wolves. Wolves. Anyway, and then... I'm sorry, man. Anyway, so at West Ham, you've got Noble when he's on the pitch, and when he's not on the pitch, it's Antonio. And then at Southampton, it's Ings, obviously. At Sheffield United, it's Norwood, but I don't really see Sheffield United getting penalties. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. And then, then there's a real sort of shrug your shoulders. At Burnley, it's Barnes, for example. But then Sean Dyche has made an entire career out of complaining about how few penalties his team gets. And for me, the answer's simple. I said, sure, mate, don't discipline your players when they take a dive. Just let them play with a bit of guile. Let them play with a bit of street smarts. You think anybody gets fined at Barcelona for diving? Somehow, I don't think so. But nobody wants to hear that in the English Premier League, do they? So I'll just keep quiet. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense, really. If you've got 2 players, you can't decide who you want. You just pick the penalty taker. And I've certainly got my eye on them, most definitely. But I don't think I'll be scraping the barrel. However, I did think about Antonio for a bit. I don't like West Ham's fixtures at the moment, but when they look a little bit better, Antonio is definitely one I would like to give some thought to. Yeah, I mean, Derek's stats says it all, really. I think for the time being, you might as well pile in on them. I did read somewhere that from this weekend's matches, the referees are told to be a bit more lenient in applying the law, but that's only in relation to the handballs. Like Derek said, the defenders are still a little bit all over the place, not much of a pre-season. The thing about football is that when a defender makes a mistake, it usually leads to a goal. But if a striker makes a mistake, it means they just smack it into row Z. So, if a striker hasn't had much of a pre-season, you just think, oh, who cares? Because they're always shooting and missing. But if a defender hasn't had much pre-season, you think, crikey, this means they're going to start conceding or giving away penalties. And that's what's been happening. So, yeah, that looks like it's worth taking a look at.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yeah, actually, one thing I wanted to say real quick. I know, Jamie, you've been talking about the importance of bonus points, and you're right. It's certainly something to take notice of. But just real quickly, I'm going to ask you and put you on the spot. What do you know about bonus points and how they're awarded? Tell me.
Absolutely nothing. because in the game, I'll watch a game and I'll think, solid. He's got the bonus points. I'll go back and I'll check, and I'm like, wait, what? Why have you not got anything?
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue.
Yeah. You would think that a decent performance based on what you saw on the pitch would lead to bonus points, but it's pretty much entirely based on Opta statistics. Right. So things like the amount of passes you make, the amount of tackles, the amount of successful dribbles you do.
You win.
Yeah. And generally speaking, these are the kind of bonus points I think, generally speaking, you need to be aware of. And we're putting this out there for anyone who's listening as well, in case you don't know how the bonus point system works. So, take notice of this. And obviously, if you know it, it will help influence you to decide who you're going to pick as players. First and foremost, you pretty much get bonus points based on what you're supposed to be doing. So if you are a forward and you score a goal, you get a whole load of bonus points. Rewind. Let me step back. Okay. Bonus points are worked out on what they call the bonus point system. So basically, what I was saying before, tackling, running, dribbling, they give you bonus point system score. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most gets the 3 points. Who has the second amount gets the 2 bonus points. And whoever has the third amount gets 1 bonus point. Is that clear so far?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Let me give you an example, okay? So Brighton 2, Man United 3. In the bonus point system, Fernandes got 40, a score of 40. Mopé got a score of 33. And Sonny Marsh got a score of 31. So Fernandes got 3 bonus points. Mopé got 2 bonus points and Marsh got 1. Right. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, nothing.
Yeah. Okay, just real quick. If you're a striker and you score a goal, it gives you quite a big bonus point score to go towards, your final bonus point score at the end of the game. If you're a midfielder and you assist, again, that's usually going to give you the best bonus point score. Yeah, the best for your bonus point score. Because I hate this. It's just so confusing, all the terms I've got to use. But I'm going to power through. Yeah, I'm nearly there. And then obviously if you're a defender, if you do blocks, tackles, interceptions, CBI, what's that? That's blocks, interceptions, and what's the C stand for?
Challenges?
What's this?
Yeah, that's it. Challenges. Yeah. So if you get a high amount of them, then your bonus point score is going to be really high as well. Passes, successful passes also contribute to a good bonus point score. So you'll often find that defenders and goalkeepers, because they tend to do the most successful passes in the game, that also counts towards their bonus point score. But the problem with that is that you find at the beginning of the game, usually when it's 0-0, that's when you find that the highest bonus point scores are with the defenders and the goalkeeper, because they work it out in real time. But as soon as a goal gets scored, then it's the striker, whoever scored the goal, goes right to the top of the bonus point score. So that's number one. So if you've got a 0-0 and your keeper and defenders made loads of passes, you can guarantee that they're going to get like some nice high bonus point scores there. Bonus points also rewards you for being efficient. So some people may have noticed that Salah doesn't get an awful lot of bonus points. And the reason he doesn't is because he shoots all the time. Right? And if you're wasteful with your shots, or you've got a big chance and you miss it, or you don't even hit the target, it affects your bonus point score. So people who are really efficient barely take any shots at all, like Vardy. Ings is another person who barely takes any shots. Jimenez also barely takes any shots. But when they do take shots, they're usually good. They're usually on target, and every now and again they score. Then they get the bonus points. So that's how that works out as well. And if you get yellow cards, obviously that's a minus. If you miss a penalty, that's a minus. If you're goalkeeper and you save a penalty, that goes towards your bonus point score as well. So I remember on the chat you were saying when DCL got his goal, you thought he'd had a good game and you thought he was going to be in for bonus, but he didn't get any, did he?
I was
Who's
super
that
unhappy
to
with
Jamie? I think. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, that's to Jamie. Yeah.
Sorry, no, he didn't. I was very unhappy with that. I was fully expecting, all right, and then I was counting my chickens. I was like, all right, that's another 3 points. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah, and the reason for that is that other players on his team, they just did more impressive stuff. Richarlison, even though he got a yellow card, he scored, and I can imagine that he was just more efficient and he also more creative. If you do a lot of key passes, for example, that gives you a high bonus point score. Digne also got a bonus point because he gave an assist. And again, if you're a defender and you get an assist or a goal, defenders usually don't get the assists or goals. It's usually midfielders and forwards. So defenders get decent bonus point scores for doing stuff that attackers usually do. Coleman also got a bonus point because he also got an assist as well. And then for Crystal Palace, Kouyaté also got some bonus points because he scored a goal. And yeah, he's down as a midfielder. So basically, Calvert-Lewin did what he was supposed to do. He's a forward. He's supposed to score a goal. I didn't see that game. It's possible that he was quite wasteful with his chances, but the rest of them were just more impressive over the game. And it was in the little things, key passes, the amount of passes they make. And this is really dry, and I'm going to stop talking now. So that's it. That's bonus points.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Anything else we want to cover before we get on to player picks and predictions?
No, I'm happy to move on to that.
Okay. Which should we do first? The player picks or predictions? It's predictions first, usually, isn't it?
Predictions first, then player picks.
Okie dokie. Right. Let's see what we've got here. Fixtures. All right. So we will start with basically. I'm going to say the fixture, and then everybody can chip in with their prediction. So Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Who wants to take that one?
Chelsea win.
Uh-huh. Jamie, you're muted. Jamie, you've muted yourself. Unmute your mic.
Apologies. I was talking and I was replying. I'll say Chelsea will win, but I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game.
Okay, then. I don't know. I really don't know. On the one hand, Chelsea haven't looked all that good, but on the other, it is Crystal Palace, and I think Mendy's going to play, isn't he?
I don't know, but did he look that great the other day? I mean, he did some very basic things. I mean, I suppose for Chelsea the bar is on the floor, but it was very basic that he was doing. Like he caught a ball, and Chelsea fans were like, "Whoa, man, he caught it!"
Hey, look, they haven't seen a goalkeeper catch a ball in a long time. Yeah, you've got to give them that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say, do you know what? I'm going to go for a draw, actually. Maybe the midweek game is going to take a little bit out of Chelsea. Excuse me. And you can get at them. You can definitely get at them. So that's my prediction. Shall we do Everton v Brighton? You know, all eyes on Calvert-Lewin. He got another hat-trick tonight. So, yeah, what's going to happen there? How's that going to pan out?
I reckon Everton will win, but not 2-0. So Everton win, both teams to score. Because Brighton still look dangerous. They've been playing really well.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially the game against United. So, yeah.
Did they score in that game, actually?
Don't you remember that it finished 3-2?
Yeah, just about.
Penalty.
Yes, of course. Penalty. Yeah. Sorry. Who did they play in the Carabao Cup just now?
Man United again, and I think Man United beat them 3-0.
Oh, right.
Okay. Well, they sent out the reserves this time.
I have to admit, sometimes I do take those results with a pinch of salt because, it's Carabao Cup really. So don't read too much into it. Yeah, Jamie, what do you reckon?
Yeah, didn't play their strong foot at all. They changed almost all their players. Brighton did so.
I think Everton are going to win, and I think it'll be. I think it'll be quite a comfortable win. I don't think Brighton are going to slow them down. I think because Everton have got crazy momentum at the moment, and it's at home. I think they'll do a job on Brighton.
Having said that, Richarlison came off injured, Allen came off injured, and I think somebody else was injured today as well for Everton.
Wait, those two got injured just today.
Yeah.
Why would you play them? What? Like what? They're integral to your system. You have not got squad depth. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe not as convincingly as I thought.
Let's see who else got injured for. Richarlison and Allen, I think. I don't know. You're right. They are integral, and Brighton are dangerous. I think this will be the first real test for Ancelotti. Not that he's already had some. And I don't know. With the way Calvert-Lewin's playing, I'm going to give it a narrow win to Everton. Maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1. All right, then. Leeds versus Man City.
You know what I'm saying for that one already.
You got City?
No, what are you saying?
I think City are absolutely going to destroy Leeds.
Wow. That's a statement. I won't lie, that's a statement.
No,
Wait,
I'm not.
Can I just want to. I've got a follow-up question just from that. So then, if Man City are going to destroy Leeds and Liverpool are unable to destroy Leeds, does that mean Man City are better than Liverpool?
You just
Liverpool's first game in the Prem this season was against a Leeds team who they've never played against, and obviously Liverpool looked a bit shaky. They still were warming up. I think City have a lot to prove, as you saw from today's game. And I think Pep is not very happy with the results they're getting, and he's demanding a lot from the players, and they will deliver. They always bounce back from bad wins. It happened last season when they lost to some really dodgy teams.
They do bounce back, but I'm going to mess with you here as well. Haven't they already bounced back? Because tonight they beat Burnley 3-0, so they've had their bounce back now.
Not for the Prem, they haven't.
Jamie, what do you reckon?
I don't know. Like, I think I said it in our chat earlier on. I said I think this is like one of those either way games because I can't see it. I can see positives on both sides. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say City just because of the quality. Because when it gets to the 70th minute and like the game's at a stalemate, they can bring on some real talent. I don't know who Leeds can bring on. So,
very true.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Who are Leeds bringing on? Rodrigo, I guess.
That's what I mean. Because depending on who they start, they could bring on Mahrez, they could bring on whoever. And you don't want Mahrez against tired Championship legs. It's not really fair.
Okay. The way I see it is that there's going to be goals in this game because Leeds aren't just interested in defending at all, are they? And Man City, try as they might, they just can't defend. So I think that we're going to see another ding-dong, you know. Could it be another 4-3? Quite possibly. Leeds are going to concede, but they've got no problem scoring goals. I don't know if that Ruben Diaz is going to be ready to play. You know, they've just signed him, haven't they? The new company. And even if he does play, how's he going to slot in? I don't know. Although, generally speaking, I think Portuguese players do quite well in the Prem, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I say it. As soon as they leave Wolves, that's when they turn it on. Anyway, a high-scoring game, but a Man City win. So if you've got Leeds attackers and Man City attackers, then you just fill your boots, man. All right, then. Arsenal versus Sheffield United. I'm going to give that one to you, Jamie, first of all.
Well, Arsenal are going to win, I think. I would say Arsenal are going to win because I feel like a small bounce back from what happened at Liverpool. Arteta's going to, give him a telling off. Well, we don't know what's going to happen actually tomorrow, but yeah, Arteta's going to give him a telling off and make him come correct for the Premier League because they can't afford to lose any more points because it happens so fast in this league. Like you lose 2 games on the trot, and that's it. You're in 10th. it's a long way back up.
So it's quite it's alarming how quickly things can slide if you take your eye off the ball.
So he's going to be on their necks right now. So yeah. So I think we'll win. And Sheffield defenses looked shaky.
It's true. Yeah. Derek, what do you think?
I reckon it could be a draw.
Oh my gosh.
No, hear the man out. Let's hear the man out.
That's cheeky.
No. How's that cheeky? So, I mean, the Sheffield defence isn't great. I'll admit that. But Arsenal defence isn't great either. And, if Sheffield United decide to drop back and essentially just flood the outside of the box with players and play, they can be disciplined. They showed that last year. They haven't been so far this year, but if they decide to be very disciplined defensively, I don't see Arsenal breaking through because Arsenal don't have the creativity to do that. They don't play long balls. Arsenal like teams who attack them so they can counter-attack. Sheffield United are not an attacking team, so to break through them, you need some sort of creativity
Could this be a game which would, for example, need Ozil? Would he suddenly coming back into the cold?
I'll tell you for free. Arsenal are going to win the Champions League this year if Ozil comes back in the squad. Well, before Ozil comes back in the squad, should I say? It's not. He's not got any chance. Look, he's not making Carabao Cup squad. Like if you put it in context. Do you know what I mean? Okay,
but I think Derek's made a valid point there because you don't really seem to have somebody who unlocks defences at the moment. It's all about the pace of the youngsters and the direct running of Aubameyang and the hold-up play of Lacazette. Like, for example, Torreira, he could have been the man, but they're talking about shifting him on. So, what if Sheffield United literally do put 10 men behind the ball?
Then we'll probably draw. That's probably the reality of it. But I know I like the reality is that we're never bringing, like, I can tell I would bet a lot of money that we won't bring Ozil in. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I think Arteta's the bridge burning type, isn't he? Like Ferguson, because Guendouzi's not coming back as well, is he? Once you're out in the cold, he just locks the door and you're there with the cup in your hand. I'm sorry, Mikel, I'm sorry. No, it's too late. Well, I don't know. Did he talk like that? I don't know.
No, the reports are that Guendouzi's actually stubborn and he's not apologising. That's the reason why he can't come back in the squad.
But okay.
Say sorry and you can come in. And he said no.
It's not being reconciled. That's all I'm saying. Actually, I'm going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons here. Do you think the 3-1 scoreline flattered Liverpool?
No. I think it flattered Arsenal rather. I'll be honest with you. I think I saw Liverpool playing. I think I saw Liverpool playing really good football. First half at least. We were stuck. Their press was immense, and it just looked like the Liverpool of high flying last season, where they were just, the press was immense. You weren't getting out. They were knocking the ball in around your box. And like you thought you had it locked in, and then Robertson comes in, or Mane slips through, or something like that. It was top. It was top play from Liverpool. I can't fault them on that.
The press was immense. I kept watching it, especially towards the second half, thinking they're gonna get tired. They're gonna stop pressing, and they literally did not stop. It was, I don't know how they do it. Honestly,
I feel like they turned it on for Arsenal. Because I watched some Liverpool games sometimes, and I hadn't seen them play at that. Like, I felt like they were bringing like a serious. You know how I said that Klopp wouldn't let the free-peat happen. It's like he told them in the dressing room, look, lads, I'm not losing this game. I don't care. If we lose, you man are walking like nothing's happened. Like, I'm not losing. And they went out and they performed for him, They fought for the man.
He's got the right words, it has to be said.
Definitely.
I don't know. I actually think Arsenal are going to win this game because I think Sheffield United are done. And Chris Wilder, he can put a brave face on. And I know he's been really bullish coming out and saying, oh, yeah, everybody thinks we're down, blah, 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 But, second season is a thing. It happens. You're really great for one season, and then you just get battered the next. Yeah. He's not like he's brought in big stars. Yeah, and it's maybe the Premier League's just figured him out, just figured his team out. Because how can you go from a super tight? Actually, I know how you can go from a super tight defence to a completely leaky one because you don't have Henderson in there anymore. Yeah, I've just answered my own question. No Henderson, no points to Sheffield United. Simple.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, Man United and Spurs.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the last one and the big one that we are going to probably be looking at. So I'll let you go first, Jamie.
Thanks for that one. Manchester United and Spurs. Mad. I don't know. Like they're both as bad as each other at the moment. I would say Ole is gonna beat Mourinho, and I think that's what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna be at Old Trafford. Ole does very well against the top six, if you like, sides, and yeah, he's gonna beat Mourinho, and that's that. That's the end of that story, I think.
Okay, yeah, I agree. As much as I'm not Ole's biggest fan. His front three are looking good, and if they get a penalty and Fernandes takes it, let's face it, it's quite likely to happen. And Spurs again are a little bit wobbly, although they've got Reguilon now, and apparently he looked good yesterday. And yeah,
I saw him get sent to the shops. I'm not sure.
Nah,
Aspie did a one cut back and he ended up in the first row of the crowd.
Just give him that one game. But yeah, it just looks like a kind of a routine job for them, as it were. Spurs might try as they might, but with Son out, the suspect looking defence. Yeah, Derek, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, sadly, I think United are going to take this one. Like you said, Son's out. United have their full squad, and they're going to be rested as well. A lot of them didn't play today's game. Some of them came on as subs. They've got options in terms of their midfield. They've got their full squad fit as well. Yeah, I just see Ole winning this, especially they're playing at home at Old Trafford. Like you said, Jamie, you don't really see them losing this big one against Mourinho as well, because I'm sure some of the players will make sure they don't lose to Mourinho. So yeah.
This is exactly. And also they've got their ace in the hole. Like all else fails, they'll get a penalty after full time. So there's always that. Just in case.
I'm giving you the mantle. I was known as the Ollie hater, but like you've done a bang up job, young man, Jamie.
I've got a real vendetta against managers that people put in the same bracket as Arteta. I hate it. I don't want to hear no Lampard. I don't want to hear no Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Okay. It's all yours, man. You can cuss him every week now. It's over to you. All right. Villa and Liverpool.
Yeah, Villa and Liverpool. I mean, I mentioned that. Well, obviously in our private chat, I mentioned Ross Barkley. I saw he got signed today, so I mean that's a bit concerning for Liverpool.
I got to say that I completely missed that. How much did he cost?
I think he got taken on loan, if I'm not mistaken. So they brought him on loan. But Liverpool bolstered their midfield. Like they brought in. I mean, before last season, if you remember, it was Grealish or nothing. If it wasn't Grealish, nothing was happening. Or at least it wasn't Grealish assisting or doing an individual bit of magic or like knocking it in from outside the box. But now they're trying to bring in some mediocre-ish players like Ross Barkley. He's got a shot in him every now and then. So they're just trying to bring in some separate firepower. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying nothing's going to happen this game. I reckon Liverpool will run through them personally. But like for later on in the season, I don't think they're going to be doing too badly, because there was a point last season where Aston Villa were like, oh, Grealish, he's doing really well. They might do all right this season. So maybe now they've got a few other attacking options. They could look to do well later on in the season. But this game, Liverpool all over.
Derek?
Yep, Liverpool.
Yeah, and that's the power of three. I think Liverpool are just going to put them to bed, basically. Yeah. Tuck them in, nice hot cup of Horlicks. It's night Villa. Don't have nightmares, apart from this game, obviously. I just can't see it any other way. And sure, the Villa defence has shaped up lately, but it's still Villa and it's still Liverpool, and like Liverpool are just looking scary at the moment. They really are, you know. So at least you tried, Villa. Yeah, never mind. Always next week.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okie dokie, player picks. We've been talking for a while now, so should we just do one each?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, okay then. Derek, you want to go first?
Yeah, so my player pick for this week is the flying Sterling. Because like I said, and I'm sticking to my word, City are going to destroy Leeds. And even though De Bruyne might get quite a few assists, I reckon Sterling's going to be at the end of that ball with the goal. So that's my player pick for this week.
Okay. Jamie, have you got any thoughts, or shall I give you a bit more time to think and I go next?
You go next. Let me think a bit.
All right, cool. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm also going to go for a Man City player, but I'm going to go with Mahrez. And the reason for that is that with Mahrez, you never really know whether he's going to start, whether he's going to get 30 minutes or 60 minutes. But with no Jesus and with no Aguero and with David Silva having gone, and obviously Torres is still getting up to speed, I don't see any reason why Mahrez can't start and why he can't do some real damage. I mean, he was pretty good against Leicester, even though they lost that game. And I don't see any reason why he can't switch it on again. So he's a little bit under the radar, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go with Mahrez. So City again, but this time it's your boy on the opposite flank. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought I'm going to go with Mane because of his performance against Arsenal. Like blistering pace, strength. He was on it for the full 90 minutes, looking for the goals, hungry. And I think that against Villa is going to be painful. So I think Mane is going to have good fun this weekend against Villa.
Yeah. No, that's just a decent shout as well, most definitely. There's no reason why he can't do it. I mean, again, you never know when Salah's going to turn it on, but at the moment, in terms of pure form, it looks like Mane. Like I was saying before, he's not as wasteful as Salah, so he's always more likely to get bonus points as well.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right then. Okay, so I think that's it for this evening. Thanks once again, guys, for doing the pod as well. I really do appreciate it. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Let's get our subscriptions up. Let's get our likes up. It's all good stuff. You know you love it. Just show your appreciation. Show us some love. Before we sign off, I just want to give a shout out to the guy who's leading the FPL Bros League. And that, because he's doing really well. I don't know if you've noticed. So that is Daniel Dramina. And his team is She Said Bend Me Over. Very good. He's on 172 points. And he is, I think, he's in the top 16,000. And he's just
we just established he's on 172 points because we're only taking it into consideration from Gameweek 2.
Fair enough. But he's also top of the Music Football Fatherhood Online League as well. And he's had a good start to the season. So I'm going to show a bit of love. I mean, who's top of the Originals League, which actually started from week 1?
We already know who's top, don't we?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. But again, I'm not going to say anything because it's a marathon, and as I alluded to today in the chat, I'm clueless now. There's been 3 game weeks and I really don't know what to do. And I know that whatever I do will probably be the wrong move. But anyway, it's going to be an FPL Bros 1, 2, 3, 4 end of the season. Just you wait, just you watch. So well done to Daniel, Double D, I think he calls himself on Twitter. Congrats, man. And let's see if you can keep it up. Okay, so that's it then. Thanks everyone for listening. And I'm going to sign off and say goodbye.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, and goodbye from me too.
Okay, thanks for listening. Good luck, everybody, this game week. And bye-bye.